Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you the things that you're going to need to train if you're training with me. First, you're going to need a double end bag similar to the one that I have. You can custom make this. If you have any questions as to how, I can answer those. And if you can figure it out from watching the videos, do so. It doesn't have to be exactly like this, of course, but you'll see why I use it. So, you're going to need a soccer ball. Now, I use the soccer ball to warm up. That's it. The Chinese invented soccer. Maybe you don't know why. So, whoops. Then, of course, the other common implements that I use are the stick. I like to use the stick for practice simply because it allows me to closely use techniques that are sword oriented and or short spear techniques. So the other thing is that this stick itself is very valuable for self-defense just from having around the house and or if you happen to have one in your car. So the legalities of said defense weapon are up for you to determine, not for me. Secondarily, I use wooden and or rubber knives to practice with. Most of the guys on the internet I see using these, you might as well be doing cosplay. You're letting your partners cut you and you're not paying attention to the blade. You don't care about anything. Like you practice as if there's no consequences. And then some of you put all this padding on and then, you know, again, you practice it without any consequences. There are serious consequences to being struck or stabbed with a live blade. You have to understand this, so you have to respect this. So a wooden knife will give you instant feedback. So when you're playing with a wooden knife, if I do that on your knuckles, well, I tell you what, you're going to know that. If I do that on your eyebrow, you're going to know that. If I do that in your guts, you're going to know that. But none of those are fatal. But that's what you should be paying attention to when you're training is when you're trying to close the gap on somebody that has a knife and you can't avoid any of those, you shouldn't be trying to close the gap. You should be focusing on running in the opposite direction from a knife as fast as you can. I don't care who you are. It's a last defense thing. You get caught in a corner and you have 20 seconds to live and or 20 seconds before the fatal blow is struck. So then you need something probably to try to defend yourself. And then likely if you live, you're going to get cut anyway. So when you practice Mantis style knife work, you're going to want to respect what the knife does. The rest of you guys have fun with your toys. If you're studying with me, let's get serious. So you have a ladder. Now the reason that I use a ladder for training is so that I can very accurately place my kicks. The reason that I do so is because back when I started training, I was mentored by a few people who practiced Taekwondo, and then they asked me to watch the methods that were being promoted by Bill Superfoot Wallace. Bill Superfoot Wallace was able to achieve great speed and technique with his kicks by repetitive training in isolation. So he didn't just spar endlessly. And in fact, he had an injury that prevented a lot of what normal fighters would be able to do. So this allows for an individual to begin to, for example, if I wanted to practice 3 kicks using correct hip turn such that I could do it over and over and over again, this allows for that. You can see where 1, 2, and 3. You can see each time I do this, 1, you can see some hip turn, 2, and 3, and some foot turn. So when I kick, 1, 2, 3. That's what this ladder allows for you to do, is to aim at each one, 1, 2. And you can see the hip turn, 3. And back. So when you can do that with control, then you can also do it with speed. So that allows for you to kick repetitively over and over again. And ideally what you want is for your kicks to be getting up here. So in reality, you only really need to kick up into the body for self-defense. And if you're looking for black belt level kicks, man, you got to be kicking up into the head area, and they have to be very fast. Kicks must be fast enough to strike, even if telegraphed. And most of you guys are too slow. So, and those of you that are like, no, I'm not too slow, you're too slow. Keep practicing. I'm too slow. That's why I'm still here practicing at 54. Okay, so these are the things that I use every single day, and if you're going to follow me, you should as well. Additionally, my floor is set up specifically such that when I move around my bag, I know exactly where my reach has really been compromised such that I can't get to my bag. So once you have those things set up, then you can start to do this style of training. All right, let's get to work.